one of the research streams that we've been most focused on is this idea of a pursuit of happiness and how time, money, and happiness interrelate. And the interesting thing about doing research in this area is that there's constant surprises. So I'll tell you about one recent study we did. For half of our subjects, we put you in the happiness condition, and you're told to spend the next 24 hours creating happiness. We don't give you any other instructions. That's the only one. For the second group of subjects, we tell you to go create meaningfulness. Again, very simple instructions. And we come back to these two groups of subjects later, 24 hours later, and we measure their happiness. And consistently, you are less happy than you. And there's only one thing that you did differently than the meaningfulness group. The meaningfulness group spent time, compared to the happiness group, in ways that made them feel more connected. And it wasn't that they spent more time with their best friend or their family member, it was that they felt more connected to the world. And it underscores this idea that when we chase happiness or pursue happiness, we often get less happy. A second line of research unpacks these ideas, and what we find is that people want to feel happier, they persistently chase happiness, and yet the meaning of happiness changes over the life course. And so what they're changing keeps moving. And I just wanted to show you one slide from the We Feel Fine data set. It's a gorgeous book called We Feel Fine. And in this research, Sep Kanvar, my co-author, and Jonathan Harris comb the internet for all mentions of I feel and I am feeling in the blogosphere. And so the way to read this graph is based on 12 million data points of what people are feeling when they're feeling it. This is how happiness and emotions more generally migrate over the life course. So you start off simple. At age 12 to 14, there's not a lot of emotion that's evoked. So this is your 12 or 14-year-old brother or niece or son or daughter, and you say, how's your day? And they say, fine. And you say, what you do? Nothing. There's not this rich emotional vocabulary there. By the time they hit 15, 16, 17, there's an incredible amount of angst, just a remarkable amount of angst. And this is English-speaking blogs or English-based blogs, but it is international data. When happiness is felt, it often is excitement, which is an angsty form of happiness. And then you start to see feelings of confinement grow up. So these 18, 19, 20-year-olds are feeling very alone. And then emotion starts to migrate toward conquering the world. So around 20, 25, you start to see a lot of mentions of power or money or status or the ability to get these things. So these ideas that money and happiness don't correlate is untrue when you are 23 in general. At that stage, money and happiness absolutely does correlate to a far greater degree. The problem is by the time you hit 30, they're blogging about balance in their life, and then they're blogging about their bodies because it's probably the first time the bodies have gone systematically downhill. And then they start to migrate toward these ideas of children and connectedness and blessed and calm and gratefulness.